What's up, everybody? It's your boy DC. We're back again here on another episode of Power Moves. Today's guest, we have Miss Stephanie Jacobs. Miss Jacobs is a big guru when it comes to digital media for real estate. And then also, too, she works in real estate. So today we're going to talk about first-time buyers, and we're going to talk about these interest rates, and she's going to lay out the land how things are supposed to go when you're trying to look for a home. So let's get more into it. Steph, let's talk about it. Let's go.
Yes, so real estate was not my career path to begin with. I was going to start in marketing and advertising. That is what I have graduated with. But I kind of got thrown into real estate. I actually started real estate with new construction. I worked for probably maybe one of the first women builders in Atlanta, which was a great experience. I started there as just a greeter, a door opener, and kind of that's where I got my customer service skills from. How to start working with people in real estate, the questions to ask, different things like that. And then from there, the market did shift. And I transferred over to general, and I started working on a top team at Keller Williams. And from there, I understood the importance of, or the difference, I should say, in new construction versus general sales. Okay, so general sales is a completely different ball game. In general sales, you have to market yourself. Whereas new construction, the builder does everything for you. You're just sitting on site, someone comes in, and you sell them a house. Where general, you have to make sure that you market yourself, okay? Because what is it that you do that the other, agency down the street is not going to offer me? Or even your competition could be in your same office. Okay, so, you just kind of have to stand out. What is it that you do or you specialize in that people want to work with you? So general sales, marketing is top tier. You want to make sure you brand yourself in general
That's important.
sales.
Yeah, that's very important. So by me, I want to use myself. Say if I was a first-time home buyer, take me through the necessary step that I need to know and educate myself going forward trying to buy a new home.
Yes, so I would say you don't want to just jump out there and start looking at property. You want to make sure that you have been pre-qualified. So pre-qualification is the first step. Okay, you want to know what your buying power is, and that's working with a mortgage professional lender that's going to pull your profile. They're going to ask you for your tax returns. They're going to ask you for your bank statements. And they're going to see what it is that, you bring in. And they're going to look at your debt to income. That is how they gauge how much home you can afford. Okay. And then as far as even your credit score, you want to make sure you aim for a 620 or higher. Okay. There are lenders that look at lower scores, but you're going to be required to come out with more down payment or more closing costs. So you want to make sure that your first step is working with a mortgage professional and seeing what it is that you qualify for. Once you do that, you want to make sure you find you a good real estate agent. Okay. I know you can go online and you can shop for property by yourself, but if the property is listed with an agent, that agent works for the seller. Okay. So that agent is going to be working at, looking out for their seller more than looking out for you.
Correct.
You will be considered a customer, but you want to make sure that you get your inspection done. Okay. They possibly won't tell you about that. Okay. You don't want to get into a home and you haven't had it inspected.
House
Okay.
falling apart.
So, so once you, right, and the home is falling apart. No. Mm-mm. Or you got mold somewhere, and you can't, mold after 5 days of moisture, the home is likely to start getting some sort of a mold hold to it.
Bacteria and
Okay,
all that stuff in the carpet and the walls. You don't want that.
exactly. No, and you want to attack it, as soon as possible. Okay. Um, so yes, your first step is getting pre-qualified, like we said, and once you get through the process of going under contract, that's where those come in. You want to make sure you get that inspection done. You want to make sure you have your appraisal done, and you want to do that in your allotted time in the contract. So in the contract, you and the seller are going to come up with a time for due diligence period. And that due diligence period, that's where you can get those done. Okay.
Well, also too, what's your personal opinion about the interest rate? The interest rate went up, from 2.5 to I don't know what it is now, 7, 8. What is it now?
hmm
11? I don't know. I mean, what's
It
what's your
is
what's your
at,
take on it?
well, interest rates, of course, they fluctuate daily. And, there was a time that people were buying interest homes at an interest rate of 11% or 12%. So,
Yeah, that was in the
yeah, it
80s.
is high. No, that was probably even around 2006, I would say.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yes, yes,
I just
2006,
had to throw it out
2008.
there. I didn't know, so I'm just throwing
hmm
numbers out there. I knew you was gonna check me.
But here's the thing. It's like, okay, you may have a high interest rate right now, but you do have the ability to refinance. And you just gauge the market. If you see that the interest rates are getting lower, see if you can jump in and,
Refi.
do a refinance and get you a lower interest rate. The whole thing is about being able to get inside of the home if you love it enough. And if you can afford that mortgage, then
Go for it.
okay, go for it.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
now a
okay.
homeowner.
What about this thing is, say I purchase a home and then I have a small equity in it, and I say I need to do some fixing up around here. How can I pull that money out of that house to be able to fix up my house? But if I do that put me in a situation to have two mortgages?
Yes, yes,
Nah,
it is
I don't want two
likely.
mortgages.
And you have to go through the process of being actually pre-qualified for that as well.
To
So
get your own money?
even when you get your own money.
That's crazy.
So you want to make sure you want to make sure your credit score stays up while you're inside of the house in the home if that's what you're looking forward to doing, because they're going to look at your whole profile.
So, is it hard for you to find new customers, or do you just have a list, or your name is just like all over the place and people just know to call you? I mean, how do you get your clientele?
So real estate, you have to call. You have to stay on the phone and you got to make those calls. But in addition, real estate has changed right now, so a lot of it is digital. Okay, so digital content, you want to make sure you're putting out content that people are wanting to like, share, and subscribe to. So I know we're in the digital era right now. Okay,
Yes.
so I also can show you how to go from zero to digital as far as being an agent is involved. Okay, so if that's something that people are also interested in doing, or if there's any real estate agents out there, I have the ability to, give you a whole profile on the internet.
Uh, Another question: is it cheaper to have your home built, or to already buy one that's already, established?
Well, you can most definitely buy you some land, but you need to make sure you have a good builder on your side. Okay, so yes, it can be cheaper to build depending on the material costs. So a couple of months ago, material costs went up.
Yes, I know
Okay, so
wood
that's
is
why the
high.
price, yes, but it has since then gone down. So it is a little cheaper to build a home because you can find the lot that you want, but you still have to make sure you get that perk test done, meaning that that property is, it's able to withhold this building that you're, or the structure that you're about to put on top of it. You want to make sure the soil is good. You're going to have to get your plumbing put in, all your sewage.
Yeah, that just sounds like a lot. I'd rather just go ahead and have mine already built.
Or you can go to a new construction, division, all right? Because the builder has already purchased that land. So it's already built into the specs or specifications that you're going to buy inside of that community. Okay, so what they say the price is going to be, that's what it should be. It's not like you're going to have to come up, okay, so you go under contract at this price, and then by the time that you're getting ready to close, it goes to a different price. That was happening a couple months ago.
That's crazy. That's ludicrous. I mean, because you already know when you see a house and you already budgeted for it, then you come to closing and you say, well, you need to bring in an extra 20.
That's not likely. I'm not saying that probably has never happened, but it's not likely. You'll know what you're getting into before you get to that closing table.
Oh, wow. I mean, this industry, this real estate industry is like, it's crazy, especially when you watch like the reality part of it on television. I don't know if that some of that stuff they show on television, the reality part of it is true. I don't know if some of it's fabricated. I mean, I know you watch these shows too. I ain't the only one be watching these shows now.
No.
So how much that stuff be true, Steph? How much that stuff be true?
So like, you mean they looked at 3 houses and then that was it?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah.
No.
Or they had a house already decked out with all this stuff in it,
Right.
Nah, I mean.
Well, it's show business. They have to make it enticing. That's the same thing with content, digital content.
Yeah.
What's gonna make the consumer come back looking at me?
Right.
So that's how those shows are able to stay on for so long. But yeah, no. Most 9 times out of 10, it's probably not real. It's probably fabricated.
Oh, a lot of it's fabricated. So let's get into the digital content part of it, because I know when we start creating, what comes to mind when you start creating your content for real estate?
Well, digital content is a whole different ball game, I would say. But say, for instance, let's just start. If we have a new listing coming out, we just want to showcase that property to the best of its ability, right? We want to give the consumer the ability to look at the property without even having to physically go to the property. That's the era that we're in. People don't want to necessarily, they want to actually be able to buy a house online and not have to go to it.
Yeah, that's why I said some of these shows are not even real, because like you said, they be like, the Smith, they done seen 3 homes and it's up to these 3 homes. Which home would they choose? They try to make it, so dramatic. But I know that the Smith done seen like 50,000 homes or a lot of homes.
Yeah.
And they probably narrowed it down to 3, but they're not going to actually.
And I will tell you, I actually worked on a show like that before.
What it was called, Steph?
I won't do that. Yeah. I won't do that. But yes, we probably looked at probably about 10 properties.
Gotcha.
I would say, and we narrowed it down to 3.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to content, all right, say for example, because I know I watch your stuff online, and some of the stuff I see, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I mean, you're doing it with your phone. You got good angle, you got lighting, and then you tell stories. about the property, when it was built. You may go on the property and say, this property was built in 1968, blah, blah, blah. Martin Luther
Mhm.
King came through here and just played spades or whatever. Him and his boys showed up. They was right across the street. You actually tell a story to really grab people's
Yeah.
attention, and then you go from,
Yeah.
all right, you snap your fingers, you go from a raggedy house to a clean house. So it's like, okay, I know it's a lot of work, goes into that. How do you come up
Yeah.
with your concept?
So I'd like to say that I am a YouTube university graduate. Okay, so I have watched a lot of YouTube. I've watched a lot of home channels. I've watched a lot of virtual tours, affiliation, merchandising, different things like that. So I know what it kind of takes to do some sort of a storyboard. Okay, so you want to give the consumer kind of an experience.
Right.
So when I'm thinking about my shots, I'm thinking about it before I even start doing it. How do I want to perceive or have this to come out when I chop it up or put it together? And I want to do it in the least time as possible
Yeah.
because editing is so it is the longest process of it is the editing
It's
part
very
of it.
intensive because
Yeah.
you're the only one in your head, so you the only one know what you want to put out, and you
Mhm.
you have a short window to keep people attention span. So it's like,
Yeah.
you got all this information. How can I get this information out within the next 15 seconds? And
Mhm.
you probably have like an hour and 30 minute worth of film, but you got to cut it down to 15 seconds. So,
Yeah.
I get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, what's the next power move that you're working on now?
Well, I have a couple of things. Okay, so I would say pandemic. Can you hear my dog?
No, I ain't never had
Okay,
a dog
good.
until you just said something.
I'm sorry. Okay, so during the pandemic, um, that is when I was like, hey, I can kind of see what's kind of going on here. I kind of felt it before, and I knew that online was going to be where it was going to be. And I knew real estate was also going to be kind of what it's going to be. So I said, hey, all right, we need to be able to, if real estate shuts down or whatever happens to real estate, you know, how can we still have this real estate arena still going and also be able to capitalize on, this digital stuff?
Right.
So that's when I started like digging into YouTube, okay, and making sure that you have the channel. How do you create a YouTube channel? Some people don't even know that.
Correct.
You cannot create a YouTube channel without a Gmail. Some people don't even know that. Okay, so YouTube, it was the real estate part of YouTube, it was kind of getting there, but it wasn't out there as it is now, with the virtual tours and the different things like that.
Right.
So, yes, 2000, and then I would say 2021, it was now me building. Okay, I need to build. I take everything that I've learned now and put it into, you know, what I've learned. I have to start building. And so now I'm taking 2023 and I'm deploying. Okay, so during that time, I did come up with a digital organizer. Okay, so I learned how to do digital branding online. Okay, so digital products, is also another way to make money.
Right.
And also through ads, you know. And then the more that you grow your channels or your Instagram pages, you can now start making that. Okay, so monetizing my content. How can I create something that I can monetize it in 3 different ways? Okay, so I can take that one video and I can put it on Instagram, but I can take that one video and I can put it on Facebook, I can put it on LinkedIn, and I can make it say different things. More of the business consumer on LinkedIn.
Right.
Okay. There's more of the leisure consumer on Facebook.
Correct.
And then you kind of got that entertainment happening
On Instagram.
Yeah.
Have you thought about moving any of your content on TikTok?
Yes.
Because everybody
I'm
think
working out.
TikTok. Everybody think TikTok
I'm on
is an
TikTok.
app just for they think it's just for dance and all of that. But you can really flip it because there's so many people on TikTok now. You can flip it.
Yes, I'm on TikTok, but I'm not as on TikTok. But even with TikTok, the whole thing with the dances, and also you can also showcase your products, or you can showcase working with a realtor. You can also showcase the do's and the don'ts. Like,
Yeah.
people like to see, a beginning and an ending.
Yeah.
That's what people want to see.
Well, that's what
So
TikTok is
again,
all about.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what it's all
yeah,
about.
yeah,
But
yeah,
it was great. It was great to get this information from you because it's a lot of people that's going to be listening because we're going to play the audio part
yeah,
of this on our radio station, which is on the BDE Music Network, and then the visual part is going to be on our YouTube channel. So it's like they're going to get double whammy,
yes,
radio and then visual. So
yes,
you just never know who's going to be listening, and they may say, well, I need to contact her and find out
yes,
how can she help me, take my real estate stuff to the next level, or how can I get a home and I'm the first time buyer. How can they reach you?
Okay, so I also have a blog called Cozy Home Lifestyles. And on there, or if you want to follow me on Instagram, you can also follow me at Cozy Home Lifestyle or Stephanie Jacobs. And if you are interested in having your own merchandise line, I have the ability to do that for you as well. Estate agent. I'm just kind of catering to the real estate arena right now, just to keep it, simple. But hey, why would you not wear your own merch? Okay.
Correct. You see
Okay.
me?
Put your
Bum, bum,
name across
bum.
your shirt. Yep.
And you see my hat.
Mhm.
That's that
When you
tequila
go
brand.
to the gym, tequila. When you
Yes.
go to the gym, when you go to the grocery store, when you go to the park, wear your brand.
Yeah, it's very important because you are the walking billboard.
You are.
So you may not have the big dollars to get up on the physical billboard, but if you have the hat, the shirt, the sweats, or anything, the gloves, the leggings, anything that has your merch on it, wear it because it's very important.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what's to close this out? Do you have any advice to anybody that wants to try to do what you're doing for its digital content for the real estate portion of it?
Yes. Yes. If digital content is something that you're interested in doing, all I can say is you have to just dive in. Dive in, because if you keep putting it off, you're not going to do it. So just dive in, make that first video. It may not come out the way you want it. You can delete it, but you have to get into the app and you have to learn how to use the app first. So it may not be something that somebody wants to look at, but that's fine. We only want to work with the people who want to work with us. So I would say take that leap and dive in.
Great advice. Great advice. Hey, everybody, you heard it here first. Right here on Power Moves, Miss Stephanie Jacobs. She's here in the Atlanta area, and her information will be on the bottom of the screen throughout the whole show. So it's very important that you guys reach out to her because, again, it's a lot of stuff that we probably didn't cover that I know that if you talk to her, you may pull out some stuff that I miss, and then she may or may not have the answer for you, but she will get it so you can understand it. Stephanie, I just want to thank you for taking the time out on this day. You know, you could be doing a million things, but you decide to say, okay, let's do this. And I'm so grateful. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Hey, you're welcome. So, hey guys, until next time. Until next time, this is your boy DC signing off. Can't wait to the next one because it's gonna be good. I can't say great, but it's gonna be good because I want you guys to decide how great it's gonna be. So, from Miss Stephanie, from myself, and from the whole power movement situation, we like to say thank you and good night.